Are you talking to me? Hey everybody, Venomous here. Driver who stopped to help when truck carrying 100 lab monkeys crashed in Pennsylvania and put her hand in one of the cages says she now has a cough and pink eye after one of the macaques hissed in her face. So you hate when macaques hiss in your face? Get rid of this. Alright, here we go with the narrative, everyone. A woman who stopped to help a truck carrying 100 lab monkeys crashed in Pennsylvania fears she caught an illness after one of the macaques hissed in her face, leaving her with pink eye symptoms. Michelle Fallon from Danville near Scranton was driving directly behind the vehicle when it crashed, throwing animal crates all over the highway and smashing some to pieces. 3 of the macaques escaped and went on the run, but all have since been captured and humanely euthanized. All of the other monkeys who've arrived in the U.S. from Mauritius that morning and were en route to a lab have been accounted for. Fallon has now had a rabies shot and wrote about the symptoms she has since suffered on Facebook. And also told PA homepage that she'd developed symptoms of pink eye, an inflammation of infection of the eyeball. She said, I was close to the monkeys. I touched the crates. I walked through their feces, so I was very close. So I called a helpline to inquire, was I safe? Because the monkey did hiss at her face, at me, and there was feces around, and I did have an open cut. They just want to be precautious. Yeah, great. That's good stuff. Fallon said she got out to help both the driver and the animals in their cages, initially believing them to be cats. When she approached and put her hand on the cage, she says the monkey hissed at her. The day following the accident, Fallon suddenly developed a cough and pink eye, which became so bad that she had a visit to the emergency room at Geisinger Medical Center in Danville. Well, people, it doesn't really work like that. You don't just instantly have symptoms the next day. But okay. Michelle Fallon, that's that. Here's her Facebook post. What a day. I tried to help out an accident scene. Was told there were cats in the crates. So I over to pet them. Her writing is terrible here. Even worse than me. And I miss words too, but this is worse than mine. To find out it's monkeys. Then I noticed that there 3 in each, and I was completely broken. The other was half broken. So I knew 4 got away. So come home to go to bed. My aunt runs into the new crew, not news crew. The new crew was asked to do interview, then find out not to get close to the monkey. Well, tried to pet one. I touched the creates and walk in poop. Then was told to met police at the scene to talk about exposure. News crew was I thought they were CDC, so I tried to them. End up doing interviews, talk to police and lady with CDC. I'm getting a letter. I'm very low risk for I don't know what yet, but symptoms are COVID symptoms. Like, seriously, a day from hell. So it's like so badly written that it's almost like intentionally badly written. You know what I mean? Like, You got 33 shares there. That's the perfect time to capture a photo of it, if you ask me, if you are serving the New World Order. And there's the monkey looking shameful. It's like, I'm just trying to go to the bathroom. Why are you watching me, man? The picture, the last of 4 monkeys to be captured after the trailer they were in crashed into a dump truck on a Pennsylvania highway on Friday. There's the monkey crates. How did you... Okay, yeah, because they're busted open, supposedly. Crates holding live monkeys are collected next to the trailer. They were being transported along State Route 54 at the intersection with Interstate 80 near Danville, Pennsylvania on Friday after a pickup pulling the trailer carrying the monkeys was hit by a dump truck. Oh, there's video. I didn't even notice the video part. Okay. People standing around, looking confused. What is that? Oh, it's because of the dump truck. Was it briquettes or something? It's not the monkey poop. Undercover cops, huh? This is very eventful. Show us the monkeys. Oh, guy spit. COVID. You see that? No, he's spreading COVID right there. Ah, COVID. You just spread the COVID. No one's protected. No one's in masks. Oh, wow, even got helicopters looking for this. Oh yeah, because they're doing the. They did the infrared sensors or something to find the macaques. They were looking for macaques. This is a very boring clip. Good old-fashioned flashlight search, boys. Okay, I'm done with it. Close it. Infectious disease doctors gave her the first of 4 rabies injections together with some antiviral drugs. She said on Facebook that she was monitoring for symptoms of rabies and monkey herpes virus B. Oh, that was in the news not that long ago. I have reported on that one, actually. What a day. Oh, is this the same clip? Or, not clip. This is just a quote from her. Yeah, I'm not reading that again. It was terrible. Fallon has been told to keep a close eye on her health for the next month in case she develops any infectious disease as a result of being so close to them. The test monkeys were on their way to a laboratory in Florida when the truck crashed into a garbage truck. Fallon said that she spoke with the pickup driver and a passenger directly after the crash. The driver appeared to be disoriented, and the passenger thought he might have injured his legs, she said. The pickup was heading west on I-80 when it got off at the Danville exit and then immediately tried to get back on, driving across the other lane. Fallon explained how she was behind the pickup when it was hit on the passenger side by the dump truck, tearing off the front panel of the trailer and sending more than a dozen crates tumbling out. She and other motorists who stopped to help were standing near the scene when the other driver said he thought he saw a cat run across the road, Fallon said. Department of Health and Human Services. Dear first responder, you're receiving this letter because you responded to a vehicular accident on Interstate 80 near Danville, PA on January 21st, 2022. One of the vehicles involved was transporting a shipment of non-human primates that had been imported from Mauritius earlier that day. Non-human primates and humans are naturally susceptible to many of the same diseases. Under Section 361 of the Public Health Service Act, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has established regulations for the importation of the non-human primates. These regulations, which can be found at 42 CFR, what the hell symbol is that? 7153, include specific requirements for handling import non-human primates, including personal protective equipment for individuals who are within 5 feet of the non-human primates crates. Workers who come within 5 feet of imported non-human primates must wear disposable NIOSH approved N95 respirators and either face shields or eye protection to protect against aerosol or droplet transmission of pathogens. It should be noted that if you were within 5 feet of the trailer and there was a solid barrier between you and the non-human primates, such as the side of the trailer, your risk of exposure is minimal. If you've had any physical contact with a loose non-human primate, you should seek immediate medical attention and notify the Pennsylvania State Department of Health at the number. Please be aware that surviving monkeys will be quarantined and will be monitored for infectious diseases for at least 31 days before their release. We will contact the Pennsylvania State Department of Health and Pennsylvania State Police at the In the event that any of the non-human primates become ill during the quarantine period, if you were within 5 feet of the non-human primate crates without respiratory and eye protection, monitor yourself for signs of the illness, including fever, fatigue, cough, diarrhea, and vomiting. If you become ill during the 31-day quarantine period until February 21st, 2022, you should immediately report to your physician that you had exposure to monkeys and notify the Pennsylvania State Department of Health at the number. Thank you for your service. Okay, more images of crates spilled across the road and people just standing and staring at it. Okay. Crash update is from the Twitter troopers Andrea Pelachik and Lauren Lesher. Crash update. There's still one monkey unaccounted for, but we are asking that no one attempt to look for or capture the animal. Anyone who sees or locates the monkey is asked not to approach, attempt to catch, or come in contact with the monkey. Please call 911 immediately. Fallon peeked into a crate and saw a small monkey looking back at her. She told the newspaper. "They're monkeys," she told the other motorist. Jamie Labar, who was working in front desk of a nearby Super 8, said she initially thought it was a joke when someone told her of the accident. Yeah, you usually think accidents are jokes. Okay. All the escaped monkeys were accounted for by Saturday after the Pennsylvania Game Commission and other agencies launched a search for it amid frigid weather. 3 of the escaped lab monkeys were dead after being euthanized. Well, I would say so, wouldn't you? After you get euthanized, you typically are dead. One of the cynomolgus macaques. That's such a filthy name. Which are also known as crab-eating or long-tailed macaques, were found in a tree and 3 shots were later heard, WNEP reported. State police had urged people not to look for or capture the cynomolgus macaques monkey following the crash of State Road 54 near Interstate 80 exit in Danville, about 130 miles from Pennsylvania. Poor guy, look at him. Aw, he's like, I'm so scared. And then they just freaking kill him. It's horrible. One of the monkeys pictured was found in a tree and 3 shots were later heard. Yeah, they just murdered him. Oh, on their way to be tortured in the lab. Their best case scenario is being murdered. PETA reminded residents after the crash that there is no way to ensure that monkeys are virus-free. Well, thank you, PETA, for doing your job to spread the pandemic fears. You garbage. Human garbage group. Anyone who sees or locates the monkey is asked not to approach, attempt to catch, or contact. Yeah, we already read that. Troopers Lauren Lesher said the concern was due to it not being a domesticated animal and them being in an unknown territory. It is hard to say how they would react to the human approaching them. Well, being that they're lab animals, I'm pretty sure they're terrified and would lash out at you immediately because you just look like a scary person that wants to hurt them. The shipment of monkeys was an en route to a CDC-approved quarantine facility after arriving Friday morning at New York's Kennedy Airport from Narritives, the agency said. Crates littered the road Friday as troopers searched for the animals, rifles in hand. Meanwhile, Valley's Township firefighters used the thermal imaging to locate the animals. That's with the helicopters. Was also assisting in recovery effort. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control Prevention said that the agency provided technical assistance to state police. The truck had been on its way to the lab at the time of the crash. The location of the lab and the type of research for which the monkeys were destined weren't clear. But the cynomolgus monkeys are often used in medical studies. A 2015 paper posted on the website of National Center for Biotechnology information referred to them as the most widely used primates in preclinical toxicology studies. Lesher said state police secured the scene for the Pennsylvania Department of Health and U.S. Centers for Disease Control Prevention. Although macaque monkeys are cute, PETA reminded residents of the crash. Okay, they already said that. Virus-free, knowing that records show that monkeys in laboratories in the U.S. have been found with tuberculosis, Chagas disease, cholera, and MRSA. the monkey isn't just dangerous, it's expensive. Crab-eating macaques cost up to $10,000 according to the New York Times. The monkeys, whose DNA is similar to that of humans, have been in high demand amid the COVID-19 pandemic, with some scientists calling for an emergency reserve of the test subjects, similar to the country's stockpiles of oil and grain. Interesting. Stockpile of macaques. Stockpiling macaques, huh? Stockpile those macaques. Now, this immediately made me think, and I'm probably sure most of you think, of the movie Outbreak. Outbreak in 1995, medical disaster film directed by Wolfgang Peterson and based on Richard Preston's 1994 non-fiction book, The Hot Zone. The film stars Dustin Hoffman, etc. cast. The film focuses on an outbreak of a fictional Ebola virus and orthomedvidre day or whatever. I can't say the word viridae, like Motoba virus, and there and later in a small town in California. It is primarily set in the United States Army Medical Research Institute, Infectious Diseases, and the Center of Disease Control and Prevention in the fictional town of Cedar Creek, California. Outbreak's plot speculates how far military and civilian agencies might go to contain the spread of a deadly contagious disease. The film was released on March 10th, 1995, and was a big success. I had it freaking highlighted, but decided not to keep the highlight for some reason. This is the plot. I should probably read this part first. A hospital technician in Cedar Creek is infected when he accidentally breaks a vial of Rudy's blood. The virus quickly mutates into a strain capable of spreading like influenza, becoming airborne and causing a number of people to be infected in a movie theater. Daniels flies to Cedar Creek against Ford's orders, joining Koov's team and Schuyler and Salt as they begin a search for the monkey. The army quarantines the town and imposes... Sorry, I totally missed the part where the monkey gets out. Stupid me. Where's the part? A white-headed Capuchin monkey that is host of the virus is smuggled into the country. James Jimbo Scott, a worker at an animal testing laboratory, is infected when he steals the monkey to sell on the black market. Jimbo fails to sell the monkey to Ruby, who also becomes infected, a pet store owner, blah, blah, blah. After releasing the monkey into the woods outside the nearby community of Palisades, he develops symptoms and so on and so on. Anyways, back to this. As they begin search for the monkey, the army quarantines the town and imposes martial law. Schuyler is infected when his suit tears, and Koov accidentally sticks herself with a contaminated needle while treating him. When Ford provides an experimental serum which cures the original strain, Daniels realizes that his superiors were aware of the virus before the outbreak. Daniel learns about Operation Clean Sweep, a plan for the military to contain the virus by bombing Cedar Creek, incinerating the town and its residents, ostensibly to prevent Motoba's expansion to pandemic proportions. However, McClintock, now a major general, plans to use the operation to conceal the mutated virus existence so the original strain can be preserved for use as a biological weapon. Anyways, that movie always sticks in my head. It's one of those ones at the beginning of this event that comes to mind all the time. Just with a lot of the programming and predictive programming in the response to said illnesses. Anyways, I've reported on the monkeypox, which is something that's been in the media for the last couple of years. There was a case in Maryland, Texas, that they reported originally in, when was that? Six months ago? Right here. Around 6 months ago, that was when they first reported it. And then they reported it again 2 months ago. So it was the same story. It wasn't any new infections. It was the same thing, but they repeated it because they want to keep this in your mind. They want to keep it in the back of your subconscious about the whole monkey thing. Monkeys. It's because some monkey disease, perhaps. Some predictive programming there. Did I even finish this? Yeah, I finished recording this. There were some interesting comments. Oh, that's a new one. That wasn't even there before. No, the comments there were good. They're gone. Anyways, this is something to pay attention to. This is part of the narrative that they're building. I don't necessarily think that this accident was staged, though it very well could have been. They could have just taken a situation that happened and rolled with it to build the narrative. Because I don't think these monkeys have anything wrong with them. I don't think they're infected at all. I think it's just total BS. And that they're using this to spin it more. That's what I'm getting from this story. Anyways, pay attention to the monkey narrative because it continues to go on into 2022. So with that said, I'm going to stop this video because we're already... where are we at? 21 minutes here. Much longer than I planned to do. I'd like to keep them short now. With that said, thank you very much for your time and attention. If you'd like to support the channel, all the descriptions will be in the links. I'll even include the links to the videos I was referencing that from previous reports. And link to this story if you want. Yeah, so thank you. And with that said, this is Venomous reporting for the Brave New World. I'll catch you next time.